In the vast, sun-scorched cradle of West Africa, where the Niger River bends like a giant sickle, a story of ambition, power, and sorrow unfolded. For centuries, the mighty Mali Empire had been the undisputed giant, its wealth legendary, its influence stretching across the sands. But by the 1400s, the giant was stumbling. Its grip was weakening, its glory fading like a desert mirage. And in the shadows of this decline, a new power was stirring. This is the story of the Songhai Empire, a tale of how a vassal state rose to eclipse its master. Forged in the fires of rebellion and ambition. Imagine the city of Gao in the early 15th century. A bustling hub on the Niger, but a city living under the thumb of Mali. The Songhai people, its inhabitants, paid their tributes, obeyed the edicts from the capital. But a current of resentment ran deep beneath the surface. They were a proud people, descendants of fishermen and traders who had known independence before. They watched as Mali's internal squabbles and weakening leadership created cracks in the imperial facade. It was an opportunity, a dangerous and tempting glimmer of freedom on the horizon. The first whispers of rebellion grew into a roar. The Songhai of Gao decided they would no longer be subjects. They broke away from Mali, a bold and defiant act that sent shockwaves across the region. But independence was just the beginning. True power in the Sahel was control over the lifeblood of the region, the trans-Saharan trade routes. The arteries of commerce that carried gold, salt, and knowledge across the vast expanse of the desert were the ultimate prize. To truly supplant Mali, the Songhai knew they had to seize control of these routes and the legendary cities that anchored them. This monumental task would fall to a leader of extraordinary vision and ruthless determination, Sunni Ali Ber. Ascending to the throne in 1464, he was not a man of patience or diplomacy. He was a conqueror, a military strategist whose name would become both feared and revered. Sunni Ali understood that to build an empire, he needed more than just a fortified city. He needed to cripple his former masters completely. His gaze fell upon the twin jewels of the Mali Empire, Timbuktu and Jen. Timbuktu was more than just a city. It was a world-renowned center of Islamic scholarship, a beacon of learning and culture. Its libraries held countless manuscripts, and its mosques attracted scholars from across the Muslim world. Jen, with its magnificent great mosque built from mud brick, was a vital hub of trade and craftsmanship. Capturing these cities wasn't just a military objective, it was a symbolic one. It was about capturing the very soul of the old empire. In 1468, Sunni Ali's powerful army, equipped with a formidable river navy that dominated the Niger, descended upon Timbuktu. The city's scholarly elite, who had enjoyed a cozy relationship with the Tuareg nomads that had taken control during Mali's decline, resisted. But they were no match for Sunni Ali's military machine. The city fell, and the conquest was brutal. Many scholars fled, and a new order was established with an iron fist. The message was clear. The Songhai were the new masters of the Sahel. Next was Jen. This city proved to be a much tougher nut to crack. Protected by the river's annual floods, it withstood a siege that is said to have lasted for 7 years, 7 months, and 7 days. But Sunni Ali's persistence was legendary. He waited, cutting off supplies, until the city finally capitulated. With both Timbuktu and Jen under his control, the Songhai Empire now dominated the most profitable sections of the trans-Saharan trade. Gold caravans that once filled Mali's coffers now flowed towards Gao. Sunni Ali spent his entire reign on the move, blending traditional African beliefs with Islam to unify his diverse subjects. While some Islamic chroniclers of Timbuktu painted him as a tyrant, to his people, he was the architect of their freedom and the founder of their empire. He transformed a small kingdom into a vast, powerful state that stretched for over 1,000 miles along the Niger River. When Sunni Ali died in 1492, his son briefly took over but was quickly overthrown in a coup led by one of Sunni Ali's own generals. This man was Askia Muhammad, and his reign would mark the golden age of the Songhai Empire. While Sunni Ali was the conqueror, Askia Muhammad was the administrator, the consolidator. He understood that an empire couldn't be held together by force alone. It needed structure, law, and a unifying ideology. Askia Muhammad was a devout Muslim, and he made Islam the official religion of the court. He completed the pilgrimage to Mecca, returning with the title Caliph of the Sudan, which gave him immense religious and political legitimacy. He reformed the government, creating a complex bureaucracy with ministers for finance, justice, agriculture, and the army. He standardized weights, measures, and currency, which greatly facilitated trade and made the empire more prosperous than ever. Under Askia, Timbuktu was reborn. He encouraged the scholars who had fled to return, offering them patronage and protection. The city once again flourished as the intellectual heart of West Africa. The University of Sankar became a magnet for students and professors, and the trade in books was one of the city's most profitable enterprises. The empire was not just a military powerhouse. It was a center of civilization, a beacon of stability and learning in the region. The Songhai military also became more professionalized under Askia. He created a full-time standing army, eliminating the need to rely on part-time levies from vassal states. This gave him greater control and allowed for rapid responses to any threats on the empire's vast frontiers. For a time, it seemed the Songhai Empire was invincible, a perfectly constructed state built on a foundation of military might, economic prosperity, and intellectual vibrancy. But like all great empires, the seeds of its destruction were sown at the height of its power. The empire was vast and ethnically diverse, and holding it all together was a constant challenge. More critically, the source of its wealth, the trans-Saharan trade in gold and salt, began to attract covetous eyes from afar. In the late 16th century, a new power emerged to the north, Morocco, ruled by Sultan Ahmad al-Mansour. He was ambitious and had his sights set on controlling the gold mines of West Africa. The Moroccans had something the Songhai did not: firearms. In 1591, a Moroccan expeditionary force, armed with arquebuses and cannons, crossed the Sahara. The Songhai army, though massive in number, was equipped with traditional weapons like spears, swords, and arrows. At the decisive Battle of Tundibi, the two forces met. The result was a catastrophe for the Songhai. The noise and smoke of the Moroccan guns caused chaos and panic among the Songhai ranks, and their cavalry was rendered ineffective. The mighty Songhai army was shattered. The aftermath was swift and devastating. The Moroccans captured Gao, Timbuktu, and Jen. But while they could conquer the cities, they couldn't effectively rule the vast empire. The delicate network of trade and tribute that the Songhai had built over a century and a half collapsed. Anarchy ensued. The great Songhai Empire, which had risen from a small rebel state to become the dominant power in West Africa, fractured and disintegrated. Its golden age came to an abrupt and violent end. The rise and fall of the Songhai Empire is a powerful chapter in world history. It's a story of how a determined people, under visionary leadership, can overthrow a powerful master and forge their own destiny. It demonstrates the incredible achievements in governance, trade, and culture that were possible in pre-colonial Africa. But it is also a cautionary tale about the fragility of power and how even the mightiest empires can be brought down by internal divisions and technological disruption. The echoes of Songhai's glory, of Sunni Ali's conquests, and Askia's golden age still resonate today in the sands of the Sahel. What do you find most fascinating about the story of the Songhai? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more journeys into history.